Hi guys! Today I'm going to show you how I put together a travel journal. And the reason for that is that I'm leaving on a trip tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. I'm going to get on a plane and fly to Port Canaveral, Florida, and take a 7-day cruise. I'm so excited. And every time I go on a trip, I make a travel journal that I bring with me, and I use it to stick in pictures, ticket stubs, what have you. So this is what I'm going to use this time. It's a composition book that I had cut down to an A5 size so that I can use it in a traveler's notebook. Now this is the one I used on my last cruise. It's a bigger journal that I put together, and I had thought I would fill the whole thing. It has 3 different signatures, and I only filled the first one. But it was kind of thick. It was a little unwieldy, and as cool as it was, and how much I loved putting it together, it just didn't do it for me for my own personal journal. Maybe someday I'll show you how I go about making one of these. Because it was fun to make, but for myself it just doesn't work. So I'm going to use my fallback, which is a composition journal, but this one, when I take this one out, this one will fit perfectly inside of my leather cover and be just right for journaling, and like I said, putting in ticket stubs, like pictures with my little HP sprocket, printer, ephemera from my trip. So this one, I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to show you that this fits in here perfectly. The leather will protect it, and then down the road, since this one already has kind of a nicer, more protective cover, this will also protect the cover for storage. So let me get started. I got excited and I put on some ocean sounds, but you know what? They're kind of loud. I'm going to turn them down. Turn them down a little bit. There we go. Okay, so first things first, I got a couple of kits from Hobby Lobby. I don't generally love shopping at Hobby Lobby for their political preferences, whatever, but I only usually buy things if they're on 40 or 50% off or more, because then I know they're making their minimum amount. But I got these 2 kits, and I don't generally use like a full-on kit, but I wanted it to be a little bit coordinated. So it's got these 2 sticker sheets, some gems, alphabet pages, and then just some cute 12 by 12 scrapbook pages. I don't know if I'll actually use this paper. I might cut it down a little bit, but that's one of the kits I got. Sorry, I'm running out of room on my table here. And then the other one is, this is kind of more like a, mermaids, cute tropical fish. This one is kind of more, I don't know, a little more sophisticated. I don't know, it's more of a beachy theme. But again, the 2 sticker sheets, alphabet, and then some paper. This one is a little more subdued in color, but it's got some cute greens and tans and purple. Anyway, so for now, I'm going to set these aside, and I'm going to show you how I prepare the cover. So, I mean, it's fairly sturdy, but when I do a travel journal, I like to be able to carry it with me and know that it's not going to be too flexible, because I usually will use some of these kind of stickers that are lifted and a little bit harder, and sometimes they're kind of bigger, and I don't want them to get bent up too much. So what I do to prevent that is I use scrapbook paper, and And so I got out a collection here of some of the papers I've collected over the years. This is a sticker sheet, so this is all stickers. I will use that to decorate pages, but I've got, this is an ocean theme with some mermaid scales. I've got a lot of just cute, like colorful, this one has a lot of mermaid stuff, and then this one's just like little crowns made out of shells. Here's another sticker sheet. So those are all stickers. This is just a 12 by 12 page that I will probably cut some of these out to decorate pages. So I'm going to take all of my little sticker pages out of the way here. This one I won't use as a cover, but I like the strips. The back is really cute with the bubbles. Another one of the pages you can kind of cut apart if you want. This is also stickers, but they're like a bigger size. But what that leaves me with here after I go through my pile is these 4 sheets that I really liked. So generally when I do a journal, I do use 4 different pages for the front and back and inside covers, just because it's colorful, but also, and it kind of ties it together a little bit. But now I got to decide what I want to be the outside and the inside. I really like this ocean, but I'm looking at it now and it doesn't really go with my color scheme, so I think I will set this one aside also. But because of the size of the journal, I should be able to cut out a page and then still use some of that for the inside cover. So let me show you how I do that. I'm going to start with gosh darn, it's hard to decide. Okay, I think I'm going to go with this as my cover for the front. So first things first, I keep saying that. I guess third? I don't know how many things that's been so far. Anyway, there's this little strip on the side, so I'm going to trim that off. This is not a 12 by 12 trimmer, but I'm also not going to use the full sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure with my ruler, and I'm going to see, so if I start this here, the whole page is 12 by 12, and I usually leave like an inch or so. So I think if I cut this exactly in half, I should be okay. So I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to measure about 6 inches in. And another 6 inches. And then I'm just going to draw a line with a pencil. And then I'll just cut where that line hits. Cut along that with the scissors. I do have a 12 by 12 trimmer, or a 12-inch trimmer, but honestly, I'm lazy and it's in my basement and I don't really want to go all the way down to the basement. So we're just gonna eyeball that baby today. Okay. There we go. So, my composition book, if I start with this as the cover, right? I don't start too far in because this is, I like to use that as my kind of edge, right? So if I line it up and I flip it over, you can see there's a nice edge all the way around. I don't need to trim this part off because no one's going to see it. All right, so what we need is, I like to just use a glue runner. I used to use Mod Podge, and that would make the book cover a lot stiffer, but I don't need it to be quite that much this time. And then I also use my red adhesive. Now, I don't remember what company this comes from, but it's a 1/2 inch. Is it a 1/2 inch? Let's find out. Yeah, it's a 1/2 inch wide, and it's double-sided adhesive. So you peel it up and thing I like about this the most is you can literally put it right up to the very edge and get a nice seal all the way down. And then I take my scissors and I can trim it right up to the edge. Cut this little extra bit off here. Oop, cut a little bit of my book, no big deal. And I could use my glue runner, but for the cover, this is a little stronger, it's more permanent. And like I said, I can get it just right up to the edge and then know that it's gonna stay on for a longer and be stronger. Now on these parts, I don't have to go necessarily right up to the edge because I'm gonna overlap it. So I just get it as close to the edge as I, need to. Ooh, the other thing about this, though, you gotta be careful because once you stick it down, man, it's stuck. Okay. And it's overlapping here a little bit, but once I take the outer layer off, it won't stick up. Oh, last bit. Oh, where's the end? There it is. All right, and then just a little bit right here. Okay. Now some people also maybe do a strip down the middle. This, I think doing the edges like this is good enough. Okay. So now some people will take like a pointy, sharp kind of tool, like, poke it and pull it up. I just like to use my tweezers. See, then this red part peels off. And then you can just stick your paper down right on top of it. You've got a nice, tight seal all the way around. Although it helps when you can, I see why they use the pokey part so it peels up a little easier, but I don't. I almost got it. There we go. It's hard to get it with the edge of my nails. Even when I don't have acrylic, gel nails on, but I also just got this manicure and I don't want to ruin it by picking at the book too much, so there we go. Okay, so those just go away, and now I can line this up. I usually start a little over and then just kind of push it back until I see where the edge is. Ooh, we got some seagulls now on our ocean sounds. There we go. Now see, you could barely see where that line is. I don't care about that. I just want to know that it's gonna stick down. Okay, so now we're gonna open this up, flip it inside out, and just to eliminate a lot of extra bulk, I always cut the corners off, give it kind of a mitered situation. And then here's where I just use my glue runner because it's cheaper and I don't need as much adhesive for this part because I'm just overlapping the edges. So I take my edges and I stick them down. Okay, now I've got a little on the outside edge, but again, it's okay because I'm going to cover this with another paper. Okay, so now on the front, there we are. And then on the inside, I'm going to take what's left of this and use the opposite side. And I'm going to cover this portion. So I don't want to go in too far because once I start filling this up, this outside edge is going to start to bend a little bit as it gets bulkier. So if I go in too far, then it's just going to peel up along the middle. So I usually just like to line it up right along the edge of the paper that I folded over. So we have to cut. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it right up to where I want to have it end up. So it's literally just going to be right up to the edge. And then I'll just make a mark with my pencil. And then down here, I'll make a little mark about right there. Here's where the trimmer comes in. Ah, I lost my mark. Where'd she go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So then I can just line this up. Trim that edge. See, I didn't have to measure. It's the best part of journaling. You don't have to measure. Measuring. Just kidding. I do like to measure. Okay, so now since this needs to be a little bit more precise because of the fact that it goes up to the edge, I am going to use this part just along this just to make sure I get it lined up right. And to make sure that that, you know, edge piece stays flat. So I'm going to take my adhesive and I'm just going to go right up to the very, very edge. As close as I can. There we go. It's not perfect, but it's probably as close as I'm going to be able to get it. Oh, guys, I put the adhesive on the wrong side. What was I thinking? I guess this inside cover is just going to be the same. Gosh darn. Oh well. Accidents happen, as my son used to say. Accidents. And then this, I'm going to try to get right up as close to the edge as I can, and then I'll do a couple in the middle here just because it's less permanent. And I did go over the side a little bit, but we can fix that. Well, darn, I'm bummed. Oh well. That's okay. We'll decorate the inside cover and make it pretty if we find out it's too boring for our taste. Okay, so I'm going to take this edge, line it up as close to this inside part as I can, and then just kind of eyeball the rest. And there we go. So now I have a cute cover. It's got 2 more added layers to it. It's a little stiffer, and you can't even hardly tell that it's a composition book, at least not there. So let's do the same thing to the back. And it's not going to be as fun to watch me just keep doing this over and over again, so I think I'll do the back cover off camera. But I think, you know what? I think this might be a better back cover. So since it's a grid lined, I don't have to worry about tops or bottoms or front or back, so I'm going to flip that over. I think I'm going to use this for the cover. Let's do that. All right, I'm going to do this off camera and then I'll come back and we'll move on.